Money's moving to me. I'm a millionaire. Money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it.
Great evening, beautiful people. Great evening, great morning, great afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. I hope your day, your morning, your evening has been going well. If not, it's about to get that much better. If you are watching me live, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. Rep your city, rep your country. Let me know where in the virtual building you're watching me from today. And if you're watching the replay, go ahead and type replay. So listen, y'all, I just came on here really quickly to share some really important facts about what is going on in the world and why you need to ensure that you are so ahead of the game of being proactive, okay? I'm going to go ahead and get started with my intro as I always do. My name is Sharita Leon. I went from being a homeless, disabled, single mom to a two-time #1 best-selling author with books that were in the bestsellers list for over 2 years straight. I'm also a life, relationship, and business coach, an internet marketing strategist, entrepreneur, international speaker, and the protege of the legendary Les Brown, a Forex trader and investor. And I empower my tribe to live their God-given purpose while creating wealth and have healthy relationships. I'm also a believer, and my faith is exuded in all that I do. So I wanted to come on here, as you see in the title of this video, to really have you ask yourself some questions, to really begin to start getting conscious of some things, to realize what powers you may have or you don't have, right? And as we've seen the past week, there's been so much uproar around the world. And sometimes when things are far-fetched from us, we don't realize how they too can happen to us. We don't realize that certain situations are not, there's no prejudice in them, right? If it could happen somewhere else, it could certainly happen here. Now, as Americans, we have been very privileged to not encounter certain things. And because of that, sometimes we feel as if we're invincible. But the truth is, we're not. We're not, especially if you look like me. But I want to touch base on really what's going on just last week in Canada, right? So for those of you that don't know, last week in Canada, the government actually froze the Canadian bank accounts for those few hundred people that were involved in a protest. Now, for those of you that are not aware, there was a protest in Canada started a couple of weeks ago, and they were protesting because the truckers there who had to come through Canada were being mandated to show vaccination cards that they had taken the vaccine for COVID. And so many of the truckers wanted to protest against that because obviously they didn't want to take the vaccine, didn't feel like they should have had to go through doing all that to be able to support their families and all that good stuff. So they decided to do a protest. And in them protesting, they now literally had their bank accounts frozen. Now, this is the thing. I want you guys to think about how quickly things could change in someone's life. They went to protest because they, one, did not want to have to take the vaccine to go to work. There are many people that I know of, some personally, and stories that I've heard of, that have literally either lost their jobs, felt like they had to resign, and or went against their will and morals because they felt they needed to keep a job because of mandates that companies were putting on them. And so here they are trying to decide whether I can take care of my family or stick to what I believe is right. And that's a thin line that people were experiencing recently. This is not even something far-fetched about, necessarily hurting people or doing wrong. This is about if I want to be vaccinated or not. This is if I should go to work or not, take care of my kids or not. And literally because of that, they went on this protest and hundreds of bank accounts, corporate accounts, all of that was frozen. In fact, I'm going to show you an article of this exact same thing that I'm referring to right now. And I'm going to tie it in and show you how when you're able to have access to certain things, you'll realize, even financially, how you can always be in control some way, some form, if you're proactive. So here's an article sharing right here how the bank accounts are being frozen. Now, they started putting lifts on those accounts, so some accounts have actually been released from being frozen. But imagine that one day you literally find out that all your money, everything you have is gone and you have no access to it. The money that you've worked for, built for, you work all these hours for, they're literally taken away. And they're taken away because you decided to protest because you wanted to ensure that you didn't have to have something that you didn't believe in by being vaccinated and to go to work. And so now accounts were taken away from them. This is why I am so convicted about telling and informing people on ways to be able to take control of their lives financially and otherwise. Because if you are dependent on someone else, if you are able to literally get your whole account and life taken away from you based on a decision that you make, where's the control? Where's the freedom? There really is none. And this is why we have to become conscious and proactive of what we actually have access to and what we don't. Because not only were they doing that, they were also canceling insurance accounts for these truckers. And obviously, if these truckers don't have insurance, it will be really hard for them to even try to work again in their field because of that. But what if these truckers had access or knew a way to create their own income, be responsible for their own money outside of what they've done, learning a skill set that they can literally do on their phones or wherever they are, and not have to go to work and not have to be forced to take a vaccine? What would have happened? They would have had their accounts frozen. They would have had to choose between feeding their families or going to work or standing out in these streets, right? And so while we may not be dealing with that in this country yet, and in certain ways many people have, the truth is they can do whatever they want. They could do whatever they want if you are solely dependent on them, if you don't have your way out. If you do not have an exit strategy and a plan to take care of yourself, your finances, your family, you're not in control. And let's talk about the banking system for a moment. Because most people don't even pay attention when they go to the bank. If you go to the bank, you'll realize they have that nice little memo by the teller that says your account is only insured by the FDIC for $250,000. Most people don't pay attention to that. Most could say, well, I don't even have $250,000 in my account, so it doesn't matter, right? But if you're someone who has been building your 401k plan, maybe you have your pension, you have some investments, and that by the time you retire, it would be way more than $250,000. If that money is in that account, honey, you're not insured. So whether there's a war going on, whether the bank decides to get bankrupt, or whatever happens with the systems of this time, your money is not insured, and you have over $250,000 just poof disappears. Money that you've worked for, gone. So you should never have no more than $250,000 in one account anyway. I'm trying. Let me digress. Let me digress. Because literally, you're putting places of what we think we're told to do. Put your money in your account. Put your money in your bank. Do this, do that. Who told you that? People that would interest from it. Like literally, y'all, we have to be able to realize that what you find in security, what you think is secure, really isn't. And so how do you become proactive? How do you tap into the decentralized world of financing? How do you tap into being able to exchange and own your currency even while you're trading it? Because that's the other thing. I was looking at a post from someone, I'm going to show you guys this as well, who actually is from Ukraine. And as you guys know, they've been involved with Russia last week. And I'm going to show you the post so that way you guys can see it for yourself. Because I'm telling y'all, if you're not proactive, you're missing out on a whole lot of stuff that we don't even know is actually taking place right now. So I want you to look at this post. He posted this on Twitter. And he reads, it says, my Ukrainian credit cards don't work anymore. I'm safe physically in Kazakhstan, but all of my savings are gone. Crypto is the only money I still have. And today I can say without exaggeration that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and NFTs are going to save my life while I can't come back home. Do you guys see this? His credit cards don't even work. They shut down everything. The only reason why he has any type of form of money right now is because of the blockchain. It's because he owns some crypto. It's because he has NFTs. And he's saying it's going to save his life because it's not part of the centralized banking system. And people still want to kind of ignore what's taking place. He has ownership of his finances. And which is why he's able, in the midst of a war, be able to survive because he was proactive. Because he was not being like everyone else. Yes, NFTs. Are you asking what NFTs are, Sonia? And so, y'all, we have to be proactive. We have to unlearn, relearn, and learn some new things when it comes to this world of financing and the world that we're in. But now I'm going to tell you this. While there's a war going on in Russia and Ukraine last week, the euro, the Great Britain pound was going crazy. And while I'm here in New York City, myself and other people part of the Royal Pretty Pip Society were literally able to cash out on what the markets were doing on a war all the way out in Ukraine. What goes on with wars and all that when there's news in the world, it's all for a reason. It's all for a reason because they know it makes money. It's all about money and power. But when you know how to tap into these industries, you're able to benefit from it either way. Just like the Canadian dollar. The CAD was going crazy last week. And I'm like, now I know, because I don't typically trade CAD because it moves too slow for me. But it makes sense now why it was going the way it did because of the whole protesting that was taking place in Canada. The news affects the markets. And if you know how to take advantage of that, you and your family can do well. So NFTs are non-fungible tokens. And it's pretty much, and I'm going to be talking a lot more about this coming very soon. So they're backed by cryptocurrency as well. If you see like some of their favorite celebrities like Eminem, Jay-Z, maybe some, even Steph Curry, some athletes, you might have seen some pictures of them using some like, you call them the punk gorillas and all of that, the apes. Well, those are NFTs. That's part of NFTs. NFTs can be anything digital. It could be art form that you create. It can be audiobooks. It can be any content. In fact, Snoop Dogg just put Death Row on NFTs. So they're backed by cryptocurrency in the blockchain. And that's a whole different video for another day. But because of that, he's been able to survive, the man in Ukraine. So I feel that to say, Canada last week was moving. The Canadian dollar was moving. The euro was moving like crazy based on the war. And one of the ladies that actually is joining the Pretty Pip Society was asking me, well, how was the markets the other day because of what's going on? I said, girl, it was really nice to us. And this is why you have to be able to have access to currency from around the world. Because number one, the US dollar is not even that strong, period. But when things are going on other places, you're able to tap into that and rack up your money and benefit from it. So you're not just dependent on one linear income at your job or even your current currency, but access from currency around the world in a $6+ trillion a day market in the foreign exchange market. But then also being able to trade crypto, because obviously that was moving the markets as well. Crypto, Bitcoin went down, Ethereum went down. It was fluctuating, right? However, with trading it, you're still able to access and win from both parts. I'm trying to see right now. Oh, I just hit take profit. So I was going to show you guys an example. So I was in a trade right here before I got on here, and it was Ripple. So Ripple is another cryptocurrency. And I got in 2 Ripple trades today, and hopefully you all will be able to see that. I don't know if y'all can see. You probably can see because of the glare. But I got 2 Ripple trades today on a sell, and that is $736. And so the markets are fluctuating with crypto, but like I said, the beautiful thing about trading is that you can make money when it goes up, make money when it goes down. And so I say all that to say, y'all, you need to be able to get access to information, financial literacy, the new world that we're living in, and have access. Because God forbid any of us wake up the next day and our bank accounts are frozen because the government decided they needed to, or because you decided to protest and they don't like it, or the fact that you have to protest for your own rights in your body. Like, you shouldn't have to. If you don't want to go to work because of what their mandates are, you should have a backup. And a backup that can sustain you in a shorter period of time. That part, right? Not trying to build, no, a backup now. And being able to have a skill set that can literally change your life. That's what trading does for you. When you have the skill set of trading, you are dependent on yourself and your skill. You can literally get into a market and that's it. Yeah, safety net, and even more than a safety net, it becomes everything, right? It becomes everything, because at this point, what is secure? What happens is, because we've been so accustomed to doing things for so long, we think it will always be that way, and we've been taught that this is safety. We've been taught that this is stability. But at any given moment, it could be taken away from you, just like a job, a bank account. Like anything could happen. Like when we saw the recession took place 2008, so many people lost so much money, their homes, they lost everything. Mr. Palmer, was good, sir? I will definitely teach you how to trade. I got you. Join the Royal Pip Society. I got you. So many people lost money from real estate investments. People lost money in their banks. Do y'all remember how many banks shut down and went bankrupt in 2008? Y'all, the same thing's about to happen again. The same thing's about to happen again. Yes, Sonia, I do. The same thing is about to happen again. But this time, we could be more prepared. This time, we have access to trading. This time, we have access to crypto. This time, we have access to other streams of income that we can actually be recession proof from. A lot of us didn't know all that back then. We didn't have crypto back then. In fact, Bitcoin came out in 2009, and when it came out, nobody was paying attention to it. Right? Honey, you better pay attention to everything now. You better find out what's going on. Be surrounded by the right people. Because I'm telling you, even like the stock market, just the other day. So I trade indies. I don't trade stocks much. That's not really my thing, but I do trade indies here and there. So US 30 is one of my favorite pairs that I trade in the indies market. It's very volatile, right? But it could bless your life. It could bless your life. And so you got to see what was taking place in the markets just the other day and seeing all the different stocks in these companies. Because people are trying to figure out what they're going to do. Companies are pulling away. That's why you see so much fluctuation in the stock market. And so, listen, if all you do is own those stocks and then they go down, it's like, But if you know how to trade them, or if you know how to buy and then hold them for when the time to come and then sell it, then you'll be good. But in the meantime, in between time, you better be learning how to trade that thing. And the beautiful thing is, those that have access to the Royal Pip Society, they have access to copying and pasting my trade. So while they have access to learning the skill set to be independent on their own, they get to copy and paste my signals and be able to make money at the same time while they don't know anything about trading, but they follow the copy and paste system. So now when I make trades and I eat, they eat as well. That's the beautiful thing. So 90 to 95% of the time, my trades make money. And so they copy, they make money, go about their business, push a button, they're done within 45 seconds. Okay. I'm doing the guesswork. Well, not the guesswork. I'm doing all the work and taking away the guesswork for them by being able to tap into my skill set of these amazing markets. And there's so much more to come. I made a declaration in December that I was going to be way more vocal about financial literacy this year. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm very passionate about us coming together to bridge the wealth gap in the community, in the colored community, and being able to do that through financial literacy, learning this skill set, and tapping into all that's going on, because people are sleeping on NFTs, they're sleeping on crypto, they're sleeping on Forex, they're sleeping on the metaverse. Meanwhile, people are literally getting super rich. And what I'm telling you is like, you would be surprised at how your life could change from having this skill set and being around a certain group of people like myself and those that are a part of what I do, because no one told us these things were possible, right? And when I tell you, you start learning this thing for real, and you get in, and you get your emotional intelligence right, because you don't get too emotional with trades because you get stressed out sometimes, or you get greedy and try to go in where you shouldn't have. When you master that, I promise you, your life will look entirely different. When I tell you entirely different, I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know, what I experience, and what I live. I've helped a lot of people make a lot of money trading, copying and pasting me. No lie. This is like facts. Okay. And so the intention of this broadcast is to make sure that you all are being proactive, that you're taking action, and you can't move slow. What if that guy in Ukraine that I showed you his post, what if he did not tap into crypto when he did? He would have never known that one day he would wake up and his whole entire country was blown up. He would have never known that. And if he was ill prepared, like the majority of those people are, he would be stuck just like them. He literally said crypto and NFTs and him tapping into this world is what's saving his life right now. He can't go back home. He can't go back to Ukraine. There's nothing to go to. But because, and I'm going to show you this one more time so you guys can see it. But because he was proactive and he had already been in the crypto and blockchain markets, he's taken care of. Where are we? Where are we in this whole new world? Y'all, I've been doing this for half a decade. And I've been preaching this very same thing for half a decade. So this is what I need you to do. Well, this is rather what I would encourage you to do. I would encourage you right now to inbox me and let me show you what your options are, because you really want to be a part of the Royal Crib Society, because we're tapping into this whole world of finances, teaching financial literacy. And I love the fact that we are a group of other people that look like me, who are experts in different fields, coming to learn this skill set and creating a society of sisterhood and a brotherhood to really ensure that we are community based to bridge that gap. Because in the times we're living in, y'all, you're going to have you a real community. You're going to really have a really powerful network. Okay? I've said that for years, now more than ever. We have to be like the Jewish people, how they are everything community based. I'm telling you, you go to Brooklyn, if you go to Crown Heights, and you see they own their own Crown Heights and Bed-Stuy. They own their own schools, their own school buses, their own supermarkets. They have their own ambulance. They have their own everything over there. Do you hear me? They don't have to go to anybody else. They have their everything within their community. Money circulates in the community at least 10 times before it goes out somewhere else. Us, people that look like me, most of us get paid. The first time we get paid, that money's already out of the community. The first time, the first wave, the money is gone. Oh, we got to do better. We got to come together for real, for real, and build. And utilize each other's gifts, talents, network, all of that, and build. And so the price for the membership is going to go up on Monday. So you want to get in my inbox now and get started immediately before that time comes. So that way you can be locked in at the very, very low price. It's only $200. Okay. $200 right now, and it will increase. However, even when it does increase, it's well worth it, because to be in this space, if y'all don't know, to learn this skill set literally costs thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. Literally. So it's been made affordable for those of us who need it. So that way we have no excuses. Like literally no excuses. So if you're ready, I'm ready to help you. I'm very passionate about seeing people succeed in this space and bring that femininity to this very male dominated industry, very Caucasian male all dominated industry. Bring some color and some femininity to it and really be able to get access. Yes, Sonia. So inbox me. I'll answer all your questions. I have to go, beautiful people. I thank you for watching. If you're watching from YouTube, you can email sharitaleon@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook and I can inbox you, or rather you can inbox me and give you all the information that you need. Let's do this. I'm super excited. While there's so much going on in the world, there are still really good things taking place as well. And so while we live in this polarity, the good has to come and the good is here. So let's maximize on the good so that when we see changes in our lives and those that we are connected to and our children's children, because now more than ever, we need to be teaching our children something totally different so that way they are prepared for the times that we are currently living in, right? So I gotta go. Thank you for watching. Until next time, only believe until the end and go get your life. Be blessed, y'all.
I'm a millionaire, money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it. I'm a millionaire.
Get your money.